Hello and happy new year and welcome to QUIZZY Monday. It's 2023. QUIZZY Monday, Mastermind, Only Connect and University Challenge are all back, and so are we. And it's great to see that we've actually got some people with us. Who knew that people would turn out in a new year for us? I can see we've got a couple of comments. Gerard, happy newish year. Catherine, happy 2023. Everyone, happy 2023 indeed to all of you. So tonight, we're delighted to be joined by John and Karyn from the Statisticals. More of that in a second. But I do need to make you aware of the fact that we are promoting currently. I just clicked off the wrong thing. Promoting the World Quiz Awards, which opened for voting today. And you can vote at tinyurl.com/World Quiz Awards 2022. We will put the link in the description afterwards, but you can vote there or check out Twitter and Facebook and you'll be able to get the link there. We've already had a phenomenal number of votes. Voting is open until midnight on the 9th of January. And then there'll be a live final on the 15th. Live ceremony on the 15th when we'll announce the winners. So, get your votes in, vote for your favourites. Pam is saying hello, and I voted. David, happy 7 times 17 times 17. I'm assuming that makes 2023, but my maths is so poor. Yes, thank you for that. Now, normally we will tell you who won the last quiz of the week and team of the week, but we didn't do one last week because we finished. Well, we've been finished for a couple of weeks over Christmas, and we haven't got a set of nominees to release to you today, but we have got this. So just enjoy this for 52 seconds. All through 2022, you voted on who was the Quizzer of the Week and Team of the Week. So this is your rundown of Quizzer of the Week and Team of the Week winners of the year. We allocated 3 points for first place, 2 for second, and 1 for third, and added them up. And we found there was a tie for second with Victoria Gross, Michael McPullen, and Ian Thoms all scoring 12 points. Quizzer of the Week of the year was Pat Gibson, whose 15 points over the course of the year was testament to his phenomenal consistency. For Team of the Week of the year, in third place, Pericardium. Quentin Quarantino of Australia was second. And Neutral MILF Hotel, or Lawful Evil MILF Hotel as they became, were first. Well done to all of these teams and well done to all these players, and thank you all for voting. So there we go. From next week, we will be announcing some more nominations, and we will start the ball rolling again with the Quizzer of the Week and Team of the Week journey. So that's something to look forward to. Just have a look, see a few more comments. Oh my word. Gerard is, the maths is really getting beyond me. So thank you, David and Gerard, for making me feel thick. I'm now going to bring John and Karyn on. So here we go. Hello, John and Karyn. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back on the show. I wish you were joining us on slightly happier circumstances. We bade farewell to the Statisticals this evening, and Karyn, looks like you're rearranging your iPad somewhat. Yes, so we bade farewell to the Statisticals tonight. How did it feel? You know, you've had quite some time knowing that you were going to go out at this point. How did it feel watching it back?
To be honest, not nearly as bad as I remember it. I remember us not playing very well in that round, but that particular game. But it was only really the wall that we didn't do very well on. We were level after the first round, very close after the second round. It was, it was one of those things. We didn't get the luck of the draw with the questions. I've got no complaints.
Yeah.
The Morporkians, they're our friends. They're a lovely bunch of people, and they beat us twice. So what can you can't complain about that.
Yeah, I think I agree with John. It was so long ago, but it wasn't kind of as bad as I remember. Apart from saying fish repeatedly, but I'm standing by.
What was that about, Karyn? For those of us, including me, who've forgotten why you, because I caught that. Shall I just say fish? And then it came. What was the story behind that?
So it wasn't a game plan or anything, but I always think if you say nothing, you're guaranteed to get 0 points. If you say something which could be a fairly generic answer in several categories, there is a small probability that you might get a point.
Very
And
small.
bizarrely, if you said swordfish instead of fish, we would have got that first point.
Yeah. But I think we did lose it on the wall, I think, really. And then I don't know, just knowing how, on a personal level, knowing how strong I'd been on the vowels, I just felt like I'd done a really bad job on that tonight and let the team down a bit as well.
Oh, I mean, it's a team game.
No, you didn't.
And I think over the course of a series, different people are going to have games where they kind of rise to prominence, and other people kind of slip back into the shadows a little bit. You know, that just happens. I remember when I was on, I had one game where I was on fire on the missing vowels. I went into the next game thinking we could make up any deficit, and I was pretty much anonymous. It just happens like that. I did think, John, I mean, your team played well, but I think you, John, had a pretty good game. Some really noticeable kind of answers that were coming from you. The same tune one with John Brown's Body, Battle Hymn of the Republic one, for example. But there are a few I noticed. The two countries, things in two countries as well. You must feel good about.
Yeah, it was one of those questions. It was one of those questions that had it gone to the other team, had it gone to ourselves ahead of the other team, it would have been about, because I think I had that after 3 questions, so it would have been 2 points to us, and would have made a bit of a difference. It's, you know, as I say, that's just how the questions come out.
Yeah, there's the luck of the draw. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still have to get them right, and it felt like you were fetching some good answers. Talking of good answers, I can't remember which one of you came up with this one, but that in round 2, that Roman numerals question, I'm not sure I still understand it. Who was responsible for that one?
This was bizarre because if you actually watch the original recording back, we almost agreed that Andy had a correct answer, because he came up with a solution that was 1 squared plus, and then it was plus 4 squared, then it was plus 5 squared, and then he came up with plus squared.
Yeah.
And there was a sequence there.
But I don't think he gave that answer, because I think he was saying 16 squared, which was one of our plausible answers, but then he gave it. I think it was what you said, Karen, and I think it was what your answer was, Karen, and it was a plausible answer to that question, and once it was ruled wrong, we knew we were right, but
Gerard's put square of IV x.
Yeah.
But they do take these things seriously. If you come up with a sequence and it feels plausible, they will investigate it.
The only reason it was disallowed was because it started with 4 rather than 1.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fair enough. But
it was a good sequence, and
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Michael, and knowing his love for wrestling and the world of kind of that sort of sport, 5 points on Capital Corporation. That's one where it felt like, John, you were kicking yourself, getting it just after the, just too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was caught up with the Worldwide Fun for Nature. And I didn't quite put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, I went down the same rabbit hole, thinking it's kind of the start of something and the end of something else, and they had to change the name or something in the middle because of it. And yeah, but my knowledge of wrestling is not sufficient. Michael's definitely is, and apparently Pam's. Pam got the WWE as well, so well done.
Everybody got that.
Steve is saying his highlight of the evening was getting Braverman after 2 clues. I'm not sure she's been anyone's highlight for a while. A little bit of politics. But talking of politics, you ended up singing, which I could see the deep joy on Gareth's face there. And you were singing the, I guess, the trades union version of the Battle Hymn of the Republic. It looked a little bit like there might be some lyrics up there. When the camera's like, I think on you in particular, John, were you able? Did they have lyrics up for you? Or did they expect
No, I don't know they did. I think we were, as far as I could recall, we were just singing, as and when.
Mm.
Oh, I mean, I was mortified on the fact I was actually singing because, despite being a guitarist, as my intro fact kind of gave away, I am not a singer, and I hate it. I hate singing. I don't like singing. I'm mortified at singing, and I've now sung in front of about 2.5 million people. Yeah, I do. Please forget this.
I can feel the cringe
Erase this from your minds. It never happened.
Karyn, you didn't look hugely more happy with it.
I think so. Yeah, as John said, I don't think there are any lyrics up, but I think the only things we had to say was "Solidarity Forever" 3 times, and then we all knew the tune anyway. Yeah. So I think, to be honest, it's like I'm not a singer either, like John, but I think just having the opportunity to sing with the other team and with Victoria sort of as the conductor in the orchestra is just it's something to have ticked off.
Gerard is saying everyone singing Solidarity Forever was delightfully surreal. There you go.
Well, thank you, Gerard.
Karyn, can you just have a wiggle of your headphone jack? Just that there's a little bit of interference, just to make sure it's in right. But first round, 4 apiece, and you knew that you'd had a really tight game against the Morkians before. Was it a case of, oh, here we go again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Karyn,
it had been a case of here we go again since I stumbled into them on the way to the hotel on the evening previous to filming our show on when they just filmed their previous show against the Gillies, and we knew we were going to play them, and it was oh, not again.
And Karyn, knowing it had been like a 1-point game previously, and then 4 each after the first round, was there a point which you're starting to think, oh no, tiebreaker, because that's you and you alone? Did that come into your thinking at any point?
I mean, it did until after we'd done the wall, and I was sure that they would probably have sort of gotten a bit of a lead then. But after the first round, it was 4-4. After the second round, even it was 6-5, and I was just like, oh god, is the same thing going to happen again? To be honest, in a way, it's easier to lose by more than 1 point because it's like it's not like kicking yourself. But it just did feel like for the first 2 rounds, it felt like it was going the same way.
Yeah, so if you're beaten by a wide distance, nobody is sat there thinking, "Oh, if only I'd said X rather than Y," and you don't have that thing. And I guess it helps when you get on really well with the team you've just played, which I understand everybody in this series pretty much seems to get on really well. And
I don't think it's pretty much. I think everybody gets on pretty well. We're mates with many of the teams.
Yeah,
all the ones we met basically.
Yeah. So that does take the edge off slightly when you like who beats you. But you went into the wall with it being tight. Morkians obviously going first. You have no idea what they've done, what their wall's like. So tonight was your first time watching it. John, would you have done any better on theirs than yours, do you think?
Quite simply, no.
I think we would have.
I don't think I would have seen anything, but I mean, it's a team. The wall's a completely team ground, so I don't know. But I didn't. I was struggling on their wall.
I saw
Karyn.
the group that I saw straight away was, I think, the group they didn't see till the very end. It was the one to throw a party, to throw a tantrum.
Okay.
Like, I saw that straight away, but then obviously when they get them in a different order to you, it doesn't help because you can't take them away because they're all still there in front of you on the screen.
Yeah. And it is tricky in the moment. I thought their really good get was the of the day, which they got nice and early. I just thought that was
excellent. That was a very good guess.
Really good guess. And then their teamwork was very, very good. Watching how they played, I was impressed by them. It was just very good performance on the wall. Yours, watching that, it felt like kind of every Only Connect teams kind of, after you got the first set quite quickly, it then turned into every Only Connect team's nightmare of, oh my god, I can't see anything, I can't put anything together. At what point, Karyn, can you control that kind of rising feeling of panic when you know that the time is ticking down and you're not solving any of the connections?
Well, I think we saw the first group between us immediately, and then it was just, there's still 12 items left to sort out. The only thing that I do take solace in is on our very first episode against the Mopokians, we only had one group until it was about 20 seconds to go, and then we got all of them. So it's not impossible, and we nearly got that second group. We were a fraction too slow to push the last item in the group. So I wasn't fast enough on that when we finally spotted it.
It's difficult though, isn't it? If you're concentrating on seeing the right things and not pressing the wrong one, and the time is ticking down, you can't have your eyes in both directions. It is tricky, but at the end of that, you went from 1 point down to 6 points down. You didn't know how they'd done until it was revealed to you in studio, but did you think that's too big a mountain to climb on Missing Vowels?
It's not too big a mountain, but you need everything to go your way. With the current format, when you've got 90 seconds for Missing Vowels, you've really only got sort of 12 questions, and you've got to win to overcome a 6 point margin. You've got to win every category 3-1. So it's not dead, but it's tough.
I think if it had been potentially not a particular team, but another team, I might have had a bit more faith that we could have done them. But I think Andy has just historically been a fraction quicker than everybody on vowels. So I think it's not an insurmountable deficit, but I think it probably is if they've got Andy on the buzzer.
Yeah, he was very good, and so what you need is to kind of put a marker down early, don't you? Get 3 if you can of that first set, and try and put the pressure on. But he came in, or they came in with 2, and Andy clearly very good on the buzzer. Gerard, just thinking back to the wall, Gerard has just put, was the am, is, was, are yours, and it was a very good spot at the end. That was
entirely Matt, and that was a great spot. And I was
really good.
And I was looking for a word one, and I couldn't see it, and Matt spotted it at the very end, and that was a great spot.
I don't remember a grammar question quite like that before.
That was a really tough one.
Really, really, really well spotted.
We should have got the Volkswagens, but I would not have got that in 20 years.
Well, the Volkswagens was tricky though, wasn't it? Because Golf and Beetle I saw straight away, but Volkswagen Transport, I
knew. It was the Fox that was a weird one, but I would have guessed
Polo as well.
If I thought about it, I should have guessed it.
Oh yeah, Polo was in there. Yeah, lots of so red herrings, but it was just it's again, heat of the battle, being able to have that kind of clarity and see those 2 things, and then recognize if there was a tougher one, and then I suspect if you'd have solved another set, you would have probably got that one. But
possibly, I don't know.
Slogans with company name removed. Sorry.
Oh, that was great. That was a great Missing Vowels round.
I got the Specsavers one I got it tonight, and no one got it on the day. I was like, why did nobody get that? Your couch is easier. Right?
I was waiting for a day helps you work, rest and play. That was the one I was actually waiting for, and I mean, I'm quite happy I got the quick fit one.
Yeah, that was really good.
I thought you did particularly well on that one because it's
to not say it.
phrase. Yeah, to not sing it and end up saying quick fit. You can't get better than a fitter. It would have been so easy to do a brain fart on that one.
Yeah.
and just say it.
No, that was one of my favorite. That was probably my favorite section of the missing valves we did.
Yeah, because the Beatles were they seem to be either really easy or really hard. Yeah, what can you do? And the Sporting Initials one was quite nice, and again you picked up some points, but it was just a bit. It was too little.
It was too little, too late, and I wouldn't. I buzzed on the last one, and
yeah,
I just saw I just saw the D, and I have to confess, I didn't see drag reduction system. I was just gambling on Duckworth Lewis.
Yes.
So
yeah. We got some chat going on about werewolves. I had werewolves in the wrong set. Didn't spot Am. Yeah.
I've never heard of the song Werewolves of London.
Oh, have you not?
No.
Well.
So.
Well, yeah, probably worth checking out because certainly for a while it used to come up very regularly in quiz. I
know
circuit.
It now, and I will know it for the rest of my life.
Oh, Andy's here. Says sorry I couldn't join. Had a blast play with the stats. Thought their wall was tough.
Oh.
We were equally nervous of another close finish. Yes.
Bless you, Andy. And, see you again soon.
Yeah. I mean,
we love
a really good performance by the Morporkians.
Really good.
Didn't really put a foot wrong. Certainly on the wall, it was kind of an exemplar of how you handle a wall. And did enough on the missing vowels to keep you at a good arm's length. So congratulations to them. But it is sad seeing you go. What have you taken from your Only Connect experience? What's kind of the thing now that when you look back on it kind of is left with you?
I'll go first. So we were one of 2 teams this year out of all 16 that didn't know each other. So the second time we ever met was that first day of filming, or rather the evening before. And I've gained 2 great friends in Don and Matt. And just we've got a WhatsApp group with all 16 teams in it. And we're still like writing little puzzles for each other daily. So playing along with that. And also even just getting on the show and having some good performances along our route. And I do remember one thing before we left, that day after we just lost that game, and I told them all, Hawkins, please just go and win it now, because you always want to be knocked out by the eventual winner, right?
Yeah.
And I think I obviously don't know what happens, but I think they've got a strong shout at getting even further.
It's a really high caliber series, so there are a good number of teams who can win, and more Porkins, from what we've seen, have definitely got a chance. John, what's your takeaway from the experience?
As Karen said, we didn't know each other when we applied, and we so wanted to have a different team name. Strangers in a Strange Land, Strangers on the Train. Perfect Strangers came up on many occasions, and that was. But essentially, in retrospect, it's been so much fun to be with a bunch of basically misfit nerds and being proud of it. And the other teams, the ones we've met, we haven't met every team due to the fact we got knocked out to this stage. We didn't meet every team, but we love them all. And the whole thing was great.
Yeah. Well, there's been quite a number of teams who've gone on from Only Connect to play as teams in other things when there have been other shows. We hope we'll see you again for a special, probably next Christmas or the Christmas after.
I'm trying to work out what sort of special they could have us on, because the Statisticals, I mean, we've been watching the specials over the years, and they've all been themed names. Have we got a letters and numbers quiz or something that we could do?
It could be walls that are just solely numbers, different sets of numbers. I think they may have actually done that in series 1. Or fish, indeed. So, well,
if that happens, it happens, and that would be great.
Yeah, Andrew's just put a fish special. So, yeah. Well, let's hope that happens. But in terms of 3 strangers
the
came together for
a team that I don't think we've had yet. So
no, 3 strangers came together. In fact, you're put together by the team. But now you lot quiz together, don't you? As a like pub quiz type thing.
We do. We have done, and yeah, hopefully that will continue for many years to come.
And are we likely to see either of you venture onto other quizzes? We saw just before Christmas, Bhagwan Mankoot from last year, I think Jukeboxes from last year's OC was on Mastermind. Is it something that you might be tempted to go on another quiz show?
And my answer is yes, but I will recall I've got a bit of an agreement with one of the other Only Connect contestants that I won't tell you about.
Okay. So now we're thinking about shows that have 2 people. Nice. Well, best of luck with that. Karyn, how about you?
I'm recording something in a couple of weeks.
Yay! Brilliant. Well, best of luck with that. Yeah, go in and just enjoy it. I think, yeah, that's if I've any advice on these things from my experience, the more you could just go in and just try and enjoy it rather than let it pressure get to you, then the better. So best of luck. I mean,
after Only Connect, what is that? What pressure is there?
I mean, when you've missed out on a piece of Perspex,
no,
some of the big money shows, no
what the hell?
Indeed. Well, best of luck anyway, Karyn. That's coming up, and John, whatever you do next in terms of quizzing. And it's been an absolute delight. Now we are going to watch a quick what is a question video. We'll come back, quickly cover off Mastermind University Challenge, and then I will ask John and Karyn kind of the age-old question of champagne moments. So let us just catch up on what is a question. Last week's What is the Question answer was Christmas, and Richard Aubrey won yet again with this question. Which feast day saw the births of Isaac Newton, Humphrey Bogart, Anwar Sadat and Annie Lennox, but, ironically, almost certainly not the birth of the very person the feast day commemorates? Well done to Richard. This week's Answer in Need of a Question is new, and you can now vote on the long list at tinyurl.com/WITQnew. Voting is open till Wednesday, when we'll release the vote for the winner. We release a new What is a Question every Sunday on Facebook and Twitter. Why don't you join in? So congratulations there to Richard, who actually got the most wins on What is a Question last year, and we'll give you some stats on that next time round. Catherine is asking Karyn, what's your poisson? I think that is a poison poisson on there.
It's got to be a fishbowl, right?
Gotta have fishbowl. Nice. Paul is appreciating Catherine's punnage. So yeah, Mastermind. It was not the highest scoring Mastermind round tonight. I have to say, we have had some seriously unpleasant trolling on quizzes in the last few weeks of quiz contestants. Particularly Only Connect, and even a member of the Only Connect team over Christmas, which is just unacceptable. Today there was an unacceptable sort of racial dig against the Mastermind contestant, and I just wish those people would just sod off. Fundamentally, they are not needed.
The same thing. I mean,
yeah. Just we don't want them. We don't need them. They add nothing to quiz show fandom, and yeah. We just don't. There is no call for it. Racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, all that crap. We just don't want it. So that was sad that for me that show was mired by it. But Anne, who won, Charles Rennie Mackintosh, really good specialist subject, nicked the win by a point in a tight show. So congratulations to Anne. And University Challenge for me was notable because there was an absolutely bravura performance by Brown for Royal Holloway. She got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 starters. Absolutely outstanding play. I think the next best on the night was 2 from any of the other players. So she was absolutely outstanding. So yeah, Royal Holloway beat St Andrews fairly comfortably. So we'll see them in the next round. But again, it was there was some unpleasantness there, and I just kind of on Twitter, and it's really annoying me, Gerard.
It's unpleasantness on Twitter is just is. I don't know what you can do. I don't know what you can do about that because you can't really contest it.
No, it feels like it's ramped up recently, and I think one of the problems is, we used to just report people and they would be banned, but I suspect Twitter is now not governed that effectively, and it just in the last couple of months it just feels like it's got more toxic. As a contestant, are you aware? Are you kind of dreading what people are going to be saying about you, or is it water off a duck's back?
As the only thing notable about me is possibly my hair's falling out, and I, like rock music. I don't really have to worry about these things. I'm not a minority. I'm not a repressed group. I'm a straight guy. I don't have to worry about these. I don't have to worry about these things. But I know what's been said about other people, and it's not nice. No,
it's not. No. I think and half the people or more than half the people who are making these mean comments, like if they think it would be easy to go on the TV, do a quiz and put yourself out there, then why don't they give it a go? But hang on, they probably wouldn't bloody get on anyway, would they? Half of the people coming out with this rubbish. The only things I get sometimes accent, and today I had some not insulting comments, but quite strange ones commenting on my appearance.
Yeah, you get some weird ones, Karen.
More sort of like stalkerish, complimentary vibes, but very odd.
It manifests itself in different ways. Very often it's not people being for some people it's not people being directly kind of abusive, etc. But again, I think women particularly, they get a different type of attention. And I don't know if you found it with people, message requests on Facebook and stuff like that from random people. I know a number of other women have. They just see you on TV and they think they can just message you. They think there's some kind of knowledge. To be fair, I had a degree of that when I was on Only Connect, but not in the same kind of sleazy way.
I'm feeling kind of left out now.
Sorry, John. Sorry. But again, I think it's really unpleasant.
People, weirdos, message me.
Okay, yeah. So if anybody does want to message John, his email address is.
There's only room for one person with long blonde hair on our team, John, I'm afraid.
Damn it.
But anyway, so there was so much of it at one point over Christmas. I just feel we can't not say it. And on All Things Quiz, we stand with quizzes against all of that nonsense.
Absolutely.
And we speak up when we spot it, and we report when we can, but we're not gonna, we just cannot. I think again, we said it before, the community needs to come together on this. Any one person can't make a change, but together, we can make Twitter or wherever not a great place for us. Not a great place for that kind of troll on a Monday night. Or indeed get them banned from Twitter if Twitter grows some balls again. So we will see. Gerard says, no random messages to me. I just called them annoying. Well, there you go. I mean, I said it before, to be fair. when we were last on Only Connect, there were 2 messages on Twitter side by side. One was Gareth must be the most intelligent person on the planet. Not true. And God, the History Boys are three annoying fat beeps, which possibly true, but it was kind of like the yin and yang, you know. So it's just like don't believe it. I don't believe the over the top good stuff.
The weird thing is, I could probably take the random insults of somebody calling me a whatever, but if it's specific, like you're a whatever because you're a whatever, no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because
you don't like me, fair enough.
Yeah, because not everybody is going to like you in life. But, you know, one, you don't have to tell me you don't like me. And
that's because you don't know me.
Oh, dear. Right, okay, let's move on from that on something a bit cheerier then. Champagne moment. Let's have champagne moment of tonight, if you got one, and actually champagne moment of the series for you.
I'm struggling for champagne moment of this evening.
I guess I think our Roman numerals one. I can't remember if we came to it together or one of us, but I think that was probably our most impressive moment, maybe of the night.
I think my favourite one was National Borders, but that was.
Oh yeah, that is your one then. I think. Yeah.
But I don't think no, there was not a particular aha moment that came up on our show. So
yeah,
it's tricky for me to say. I don't know.
And over the course of the is it 3 episodes you did? What was your finest moment of those?
First wall. Absolutely.
But I've got to say that as well. But I just think at least we got to win one when we won our second episode as well. So that feeling of we've actually won.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, yes, and again, you know, for all those keyboard warriors at home, you know, they haven't been on the show, they haven't won an episode, and you have. Michael, in predictable posting of the night, WWE question, automatic moment of any quiz night. Yeah, and he is.
Sorry, I got it too late, Michael.
He's a person I thought of as soon as I saw that, knew what that question was getting at. Yes, so superb. For me, I don't know, actually. I'm looking at my notes. I think it could be Brown's performance on University Challenge because she was just superb. I did like the music in the Music Connection. Perhaps just hearing Stone Roses and Lily Allen. I don't know. Yeah, I quite like the construction of the Cavendish one as well. Bananas, probably where I'd have got it, but because I forgot the to the Manor Born connection.
I didn't know the Manor Born connection because that was before any of our time.
Yeah,
I vaguely remember watching it, but it still could have been British cyclists at that point.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it was an enjoyable evening of quizzing, and I think I probably will go with Brown from University Challenge just because I think she won that game. Yeah. Absolutely superb. So your journey is over on Only Connect. We know there's more to come, so we look forward to seeing what happens next from you. We, as I mentioned, what is the question? We've got a new what is the question to vote for at the moment. tinyurl.com/WITQ new. Vote on that, and on Wednesday we'll go to the final to find a winner. Next Monday we'll start announcing nominees for Quizzer of the Week and Quiz Team of the Week. Don't forget, if you didn't see at the start of the show, we announced the Quizzer of the Week of the year and Quiz Team of the Week of the year, just based on your votes over the course of the year. So check that out on replay if you didn't see that. Michael, if you didn't see that, you're in the former category. And the World Quiz Awards are open to vote. So go to tinyurl.com/World Quiz Awards 2022 and vote until midnight on the 9th of January. We will be back next week. Thank you, John. Thank you, Karyn, for joining us once more. It's been an absolute delight. Thank you to everybody who has been watching and chatting. And we'll see you again next week. Goodbye.
Thanks, Gareth. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Gareth. Cheers.
Thanks.